Hello, coming to you today with a binder that I bought on Sunday off eBay. This is an older FranklinCovey model. I suspect it's from somewhere in the 2006, 7, 8 window, just based on a few of its interior features and the style. I actually owned this model in a compact, this exact same color and style, and we kind of roughly estimated it in one of the Facebook groups to being mid 2000s. It has an interior that some of the deluxe binders of that era had. It has the leather covered rings, and then this was sort of a popular layout FranklinCovey used in a number of their binders, with the pockets in the ID window, the two elasticated pen loops. There's a slip pocket here and then a gusseted zip pocket here. Now, when I opened the box last night when it arrived, it was quite a bit grubbier than it is right now. I started filming a video of me cleaning it and ran into some issues. I kept bumping the camera holder, and so it was not a video anybody wanted to see. And it was actually quite difficult to clean. Let's see if I can show you. Inside there was this black grit. I don't know if you can see that on there. And it was sticky. Like, I kept wiping at it and it wouldn't budge, but if I took my fingernail to it, I could very kind of like peel it off. But heaven forbid it dropped back on the binder again because it stuck again. So I'm not really sure what that was, but I've managed to clean it all off now at this point, along with cleaning my work surface, because it was leaving flecks all over the place, and then those flecks were sticking to the spots I had just cleaned. So the binder itself's in fairly worn condition on the spine, as is typical for planners. People tend to carry them by the spine, so more of their finger oils, etc., land on that spot. And because this leather is a pliable leather, it's not a stiffened binder. FranklinCovey calls this unstructured. The binder, you can wrap your hand, kind of, you can feel the rings through here. And so, of course, dirt accumulated more in those spots because those spots were raised. I've cleaned it with the first round here with a car leather cleaner because it was quite grubby. Leather conditioner and cleaner, Boo-Yah Clean. We've used this quite a bit in our minivan that's leased, so I want to make sure we can keep it in good shape. And typically when a binder's not in bad condition, I tend to use the Coach leather cleaner. I tend to find it does a very good job, and I'm going to do a once over still with this now that I've gotten all the grit and the dirt off of it, just to see if I pick up anything more that I missed with the first round. I've used up all the napkins I was using. And frankly, when I use the Coach cleaner, I tend to use a softer cloth. It's clear. The Boo-Yah Clean is actually like a translucent but still whitish. So I'm curious to see if I get any more dirt up with the Coach cleaner. This area was quite dirty, and I was picking up a lot of dirt here earlier. Let's see. It looks like I'm actually picking up some of the orange, which I don't really want to do. So let's lighten up the pressure on that and switch to a different area. There's a pen mark down here. It's very hairline thin. Almost looks like a crack in the leather, and I thought at first that's what it was, but once I got the dirt off, I realized, no, that's actually a pen mark. I'm not going to do anything about it. I know that would drive some people crazy, but in my experience, anytime you try to mess with pen, the same products that you would use to remove the pen also remove the color finish from the leather, and you end up with a very obvious spot versus a more subtle pen mark. So be it. The pen mark stays. Trying to rub lightly because I don't want to be removing the color. I like the color. It's sort of it's not quite an orange and it's not quite a tan. I've taken to calling it amber. I have no idea if that's what FranklinCovey called the color, but that's what I've decided to call it. One of the unfortunate things, all the Filofax users, there's been enough catalogs uncovered and sort of enough people keeping track of their history that many of the models have been very easily named, especially since Filofax has the habit of putting the names inside for the more recent models. But in the case of FranklinCovey, we really had to go off of users' memory. We haven't come across too many older catalogs over the years to try and figure out the names of some of these. So So, although I'd like to know the name, I may never know it. All right, well, not peeling off the color, which is good, and it's looking shinier. Do a light coat to the inside too. And then if it seems like it's as clean as it's going to get, I'll use a leather conditioner on it. If it doesn't, then I might wait, let this dry, and then do another cleaning of it. We'll see how I feel once I've gone through here. I believe these are 1 1/4 inch rings, which are typically larger than I use. I prefer a 3/4 inch ring, but they're kind of hard to come by these days without finding a planer that the newer ones. Card slots look like they weren't used much. Oh, I'm still picking up some of those little gritty bits. They're very persistent and then they stick to everything. Almost makes me wonder if they're like adhesive from a sticker or something. I don't know. It looks like I've gotten some cleaner on there. So this looks quite a bit better than it did when I first started on it. The clasp is actually in unusually good condition, given that how frequently those are usually touched. You know, that ring area is pretty noticeable in the spine. But I would say there's maybe some fading on the clasp. Looks a little lighter, but no damage to the leather. And the interior is like pristine, so well, maybe a little tiny pen mark there. So it's looking pretty good. A lot better than it was when I first pulled it out. The smells a bit better too. Didn't smell bad, it just didn't smell like it had been used lately. It had that slight musty odor. So it's in pretty good shape. I do want to do a little work to the edges here. They often pick up quite a bit of dirt, especially on the edge of the spine. So I'll get that. The corners are a bit burnished, I guess you would say. Oop, darn it. Did it again. I don't use a tripod. I don't have one for my phone that's tall enough. So I have this nifty device that clamps down almost like a desk lamp. But when I'm doing something active like this, it is way too easy to bump it. I'm also coming to you from my bathroom counter. It's the brightest room in the house because it has a skylight, so I don't have to worry about lighting quite so much. All right, I think we're in, darn it, I think we're in good shape. It's looking pretty clean down in there. I don't see any major dirt down in there. The rings are removable. It does have the hex screws to make them removable. I don't know if I'll do that or not, although I do prefer the smaller rings. It looks really nice with the leather covered rings. So I feel like it's in pretty good shape. I don't think I'm going to get it too much cleaner on the inside anyway, so I think I'll condition the inside. I think I might do one more round on the exterior. Just seems like it's just not quite as clean as I might like it. And there might be hope for one more round to get a little more off. Switching to the Coach Leather Moisturizer. Use this on a number of my handbags. I don't particularly like the odor of it, but I have to say it does a nice job. Gives a nice sheen to the leather, but without being oily. A couple of the leather conditioners I've tried before I switched to the Coach brand, I didn't like touching what I just cleaned for quite some time because it just felt just a little too greasy for me. All right, I'm still getting those black spots. I can't figure out where that's coming from. All right, and it's very sticky. The only thing that gets those little black dots off are the baby wipes. The leather cleaner doesn't get it. So, I don't know, maybe that's the nylon in the pockets breaking down. It's very strange. Unless maybe it's just the elastic. It doesn't seem like it's breaking down. sure to get all the different areas, including the zipper pull and the, oh, there's another one. I was stuck to the zipper pull, I think. Maybe I didn't get the other side very well. Get that. And that. Very frustrating, whatever these little black dots are. Oh, there's more on the inside edge of the zipper here. That's what the problem is. I didn't catch that. Well, whatever this black grit is, it's very persistent. And it does not want to get cleaned up. Alright, I'm going to go back to conditioning the other side and let that air out a little after using the baby wipe on it. I'm putting a very thin amount on the card slots. I don't want them to be too oily or anything because I'm going to be putting stuff in them. And make sure I get those pen loops because they get touched and rubbed a lot, and I don't. I've noticed on similar models to this planner that the pen loops tend to dry out and crack, particularly on like the top edge where maybe the clip from the pen rubs it a little more. Oh, there's another black dot. But I feel like I've done a decent job rubbing in a light coat of the conditioner. So I'll leave that dry, and hopefully when we're all done, I will have a nice, fresh, clean planner. Just making sure I didn't get any more black dots anywhere on the back here, because once they stick again, they're really hard to get off. But this planner has a really nice feel to it. It's just got a nice, it'll definitely sort of bend around any inserts that are in it, etc. Very happy with it. Well, hopefully I didn't bore you to death. And there you are.